What's going on, guys? It's your boy Fano here, and in this video I have a pretty cool Stat-Trak loadout for you guys. I know you guys really love these CSGO loadout videos, so I decided to extend them to include Stat-Trak weapons. I tried to find Stat-Trak weapons that were not too expensive, but also looked pretty decent, so without any further ado, let's hop right into this video. The first skin I have for you is a Stattrak Usps-led Conduit Battle-Scarred. You can get this skin on the Steam market for $2.88, and it is one of the cheapest USPS skins out there, and in the Stattrak flavor, it is also pretty cheap, coming in at $2.88. But if you prefer to go with the P2000, I recommend going with the Imperial Factory New, which costs $1.97 on the Steam market. Since it is in the Factory New condition, it will look like a premium P2000 skin, and for only $2 in the Stattrak flavor, I think it's a win. But next up, we have a Stattrak Glock 18 Ironwork Minimal Wear, which costs $1.15 on the Steam market, and I decided to go with minimal wear because it wasn't too expensive, and it will be a little bit brighter than the other versions of this skin, and I think the brighter this skin is, the better it looks. But moving on, we have a Stattrak Desert Eagle Oxide Blaze Minimal Wear. You can get this skin on the Steam market for $2.43, and it is a very clean Desert Eagle skin. It is no Desert Eagle Blaze, but it's probably the closest thing to it. And if you prefer the R8 revolver, look no further than the Stattrak Crimson Web Field Tested, which costs 64 cents. For our Stattrak Sg553 Auto, I decided to go with the Polymer Field Tested, which only costs 35 cents on the Steam market. It's a no-brainer for a Stattrak Sg553 skin that looks pretty solid in the field tested condition. Look no further than the Polymer. But if you are a counter-terrorist, go with the 5.7 Violent Daimyo Field Tested, which only costs 69 cents on the Steam market, and it is a very clean-looking skin. You can barely see the wear on it, and for only 69 cents, I think it is a no-brainer, and you guys should definitely consider this skin. And for the Stattrak Tech 9 skin, I decided to go with the Phobos Field Tested, which only costs 29 cents, and it's a pretty decent looking skin if you ask me. You can get a pretty nice fade on the front, and I think it's a pretty interesting skin, a very unique one in my opinion, so I definitely think you guys should give it some love. For our Stattrak P250 skin, I decided to go with the Ripple Minimal Wear, which only costs 40 cents on the Steam market. You can barely see the wear on it in the minimal wear condition, and for a P250 Stattrak skin, I think 40 cents is well worth the money. For the Stattrak Dual Berettas, I decided to go with the Dueling Dragons Battle-Scarred, which only costs 59 cents. This is another skin that looks really good in the Battle-Scarred flavor, and for only 60 cents, I think it's a very nice looking Dual Beretta skin. For the Stattrak AK-47 skin, your cheapest option is the Uncharted Field Tested, which costs a whopping $5.13 on the Steam market. It's one of the cheapest AKs you can get in the Stattrak condition, so I definitely recommend it if you're on a budget. For our Stattrak M4A4 skin, I decided to go with the Magnesium Battle-Scarred. It only costs $2.23 for a pretty nice restricted M4 skin. The Magnesium Battle-Scarred does not look beat up, and in my opinion, it looks like a premium M4A4 skin. For the Stattrak M4A1S skin, I decided to go with the Flashback Field Tested, which costs $4.61, a bit steep, but it is one of the cheaper M4A1S skins in the Stattrak condition, and I think it'll do just fine. But moving on, for our Stattrak Op, I decided to go with the Phobos Minimal Wear. It costs $7.18 on the Steam market, but it is an amazing op. In the minimal wear flavor, it is pretty bright, it is not beat up, and I don't know, the Phobos has always appealed to me, so I decided to include it in this video. Let me know in the comment section below if you guys agree with me. For the Stattrak SSG08 skin, I decided to go with the Abyss Battle-Scarred. It costs $1.12 on the Steam market, and I definitely consider it to be one of the best scout skins in the game. For the Stattrak Galil AR, I decided to go with the Stone Cold Battle-Scarred. It only costs $1.61 on the Steam market. It's a premium restricted Galil skin, and I don't know, I think it looks pretty decent. Even though it is slightly dimmed and a little bit beat up, I still think it is well worth the money, and you don't want to spend more than $1.50 on a Galil skin. For our Stattrak Phobos skin, I decided to go with the Valence Battle-Scarred. It costs $2.54, and I think it is one of the best Phobos skins in the game, even though it is battle-scarred, I think it still looks really good. It's from an older collection, it has potential to increase in value, and I don't know, I just really like the Valence. For our Stattrak Sg553 skin, I decided to go with the Danger Close Field Tested, which only costs 30 cents, and it is not too beat up, so why not? And for our AUG Stattrak skin, I decided to go with the Triqua Minimal Wear. It costs a whopping $2.04, but it is in the minimal wear flavor, and I do think it looks really nice, so when you are opponing some noobs on train, I definitely consider going for the Triqua Minimal Wear. The Ricochet was also up there on my list. But moving on, we have a Stattrak Scar20 Grotto Factory New. It only costs 88 cents on the Steam market, and for the best Scar20 skin in the game, in the factory new flavor, you have to go with the Grotto. For our Stattrak G3 SG1 skin, I decided to go with the Scavenger Battle-Scarred, which costs 98 cents, and I actually think this skin looks pretty decent. I'm not going to be using it too much, but I do think it complements the loadout pretty nicely, and it does look pretty good. Moving on, we have a Stattrak Nova Toy Soldier Battle-Scarred. It only costs 94 cents. You can barely tell that it is battle-scarred, so I definitely think it's well worth the money. For our Stattrak Sawed-Off skin, look no further than the Origami Field Tested. It only costs 28 cents on the Steam market, and it is not too beat up in the field tested condition. But moving on, we have a Stattrak XM1014 Slipstream Minimal Wear. It costs 53 cents on the Steam market. You don't need anything higher than a minimal wear. I think the minimal wear looks really good. It's bright, it's not too beat up, and I think it's one of the better looking XM skins in the game. Next up, we have a Stattrak Mag 7 Heat Battle-Scarred. It is a bit pricey, costing around $1. However, I do think it is well worth the money. It's a very cool looking skin from an older collection. I think it has some potential and some value, and even in the battle-scarred condition, I think it looks really good. Let me know what you guys think of the Heat in the comment section below. But moving on, we have a Stattrak Negev Terrain Factory New. It only costs 84 cents on the Steam market, and what more can I say? It's a pretty nice looking skin. For our Stattrak M249 skin, look no further than the System Lock Field Tested, which costs 34 cents on the Steam market. However, for our Stattrak Mac 10 skin, the Oceanic Minimal Wear has my vote. It costs 51 cents on the Steam market, and you could replace it with a Lapis Gator if you so desire. Moving on, we have a Stattrak Mp5 Cirrus Field Tested. It costs 50 cents on the Steam market. It's pretty bright even in the field tested condition. I personally think it's one of the best Mp7 skins out there, but that's just me. For the Stattrak Mp5 skin, I decided to go with the Gauss Field Tested, which costs around $2.50. It's a bit pricey for a Stattrak SMG skin, but since the Mp5 is a fairly new weapon in the game, there are not that many skins, especially in the Stattrak condition, so that's why it's so expensive. Next up, we have a Stattrak P90 Traction Field Tested. You can get the skin on the Steam market for 59 cents, and it is pretty clean in the field tested condition. Not too many scratches. It's a little dark, but not too much. I definitely think you guys should go for a field tested one, but I'm sure a battle-scarred or a well-worn will do just as fine. But for our Stattrak PP Bison skin, I decided to go with the Night Riot Minimal Wear. You can get the skin on the Steam market for 46 cents, and it is one of the nicer looking PP Bison skins out there for under $1. But moving on, we have a Stattrak UMP Scaffold Battle-Scarred. You can get this skin on the Steam market for around $1.12, and it is definitely one of my favorite UMP skins in the game. I am a huge fan of the UMP Scaffold, so for only $1.12 for a Stattrak UMP, I think it is well worth it. Last but not least, we have a Stattrak MP9 BioLeak Minimal Wear, which costs around 89 cents on the Steam market. Again, another skin that I'm a huge fan of, so there is some bias here, but who doesn't like a BioLeak? And for under $1 in the minimal wear condition, I think it's one of the best options. So there you have it, guys. That was my CSGO budget Stattrak loadout. Let me know what you guys think of the loadout in the comment section below. What skins did you like? What skins didn't you like? Do you guys have any recommendations? Any alternatives? I always love hearing your responses and your feedback, so keep it coming. And as always, guys, if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up to show your support. Also, if you would like to be notified of future videos, giveaways, and more, hit the subscribe button below. So until next time, this is Fano, signing out.